trying to determine the effectiveness of what we're doing is also important, Mallory. And there was a question in here about assessment methods. So qualitative and quantitative, what are you using at Reach? What should we be using more of in order to evaluate what we're doing and whether it's effective?
Absolutely. I think about anytime you're looking at efficacy, a logic model has three parts: inputs, outputs, and outcomes. In terms of inputs, and in all three, you want quantitative and qualitative data. From the input side, what we're seeing is that these apprenticeship degrees allow us to attract significantly more diverse populations and allow them to persist through the program at rates very similar or equal to white, middle class, and affluent socioeconomic status students going through traditional programs. So at Reach, over half of our students identify as Black, Latino, or Indigenous. 90% are low income, first generation, and or working parents. And 100% come from these communities that have teacher shortages. And they persist through our programs the same as if they were coming from a more traditional represented demographic in a traditional institution of higher ed. In terms of outputs, we're seeing this in the rates at which students are passing their praxis exams for teacher prep at rates about twice the average for their states. When you disaggregate it by demographic group, even higher, looking closer to 3x first-time passage rates. We're also seeing net promoter scores in the 70s for these programs, which is very, very high. It's about 20 points higher than your average institution of higher ed. And in terms of the outcomes, I think about this in terms of students' long-term placement in a program. We see that about 84% of our students 5 years after graduating are still working in the classroom. 91% are still working in the school building. On average, 5-year teachers, like in the first 5 years, we lose about 40% of teachers. And so those retention rates of people showing up prepared, getting great reviews from their school leadership in terms of their performance with students, we know this works. There's no silver bullet for what's the assessment tool that makes it work. It needs to be multimodal. What I will say is we've built a data tool called Craft that we're allowing other institutions to use that is purpose-built for assessment, data collection, and evaluation in the apprenticeship degree setting, right? So when you need to be collecting field work that then needs to be evaluated against student learning outcomes and treated rigorously and longitudinally, it's a tool purpose-built for that. And that has helped us do that evaluation for ourselves. And we certainly think it's a tool that can support other institutions as well.